Who did it?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, really. Well, in fact, that was what I asked you, but you obviously don't know. It's a bit of a
Is it
shame.
aliens? Is this a genuine one?
Aliens do them.
To be honest, I don't think anyone actually knows.
Why we've been asked the question?
There were 2 blokes from Mars.
Well, according to certain people it was, yeah.
Well, give us some points then.
The crop pattern was put there by aliens, according to the Circles Phenomenon Research Group, which is headed by Reg Presley, the man made rich by the 4 Weddings and a Funeral theme tune. Says Presley, I think someone out there is trying to tell us something. Yes, such as if we hear love is all around just one more time, we'll destroy your planet. The outline, clearly visible from the road, prompted one local woman to remark, goodness knows what Norma must think as she drives past. What's that, perhaps? Ian and Nick explain this supernatural apparition.
Is it Eddie the Eagle Edwards?
Why are his glasses up there when his eyes are on his chest?
But it was put there for a reason.
As a protest against the motorway, I would guess.
Is the right answer.
M11, was it?
No.
Usually it's M25.
M3.
Actually, I don't know. It's the 500-foot hill carving of the Prime Minister wearing 90-foot underpants entitled The Grey Man of Ditchling. It was created by anti-road campaigners in Sussex. A Conservative Party spokesman poured scorn on the stunt, saying that the caricature wasn't even an accurate one. The underpants were on the right way round, for a start. And there was no shirt tucked into them. So that concludes the scoring from our second round, or the lack of it, as it will appear that Paul and David have all of 4, whereas Ian and Nick have rocketed to 8. So with 4 points in it, there's still everything to play for, apart from any forms of enjoyment, of course, as we enter the odd one out round. Paul, your 4 objects of desire are Madonna, his purpleness, Norman Schwarzkopf, and Rupert Murdoch.
I can't help thinking there's some link between Norman Schwarzkopf.
Norman
Schwarzkopf. Is that not Norman Schwarzkopf?
No, it is Schwarzkopf. It looks like Schwarzkopf.
Who's Norman Schwarzkopf then?
Schwarzkopf.
No, Schwarzkopf. Let's call the whole thing off.
Schwarzkopf was the one who went with Gurney Winters, wasn't he?
No, that was Snorbit.
Oh, right.
Did
Very
he
good
lead
Snorbit.
Desert Storm?
What, Snorbit? Well, that great big sort of great St. Bernard dog?
Yeah.
No wonder we did very well there. Well, Madonna's come third in the Winston Churchill look-like competition. Prince is a great big girl's blouse. Rupert Murdoch's proven he's got one finger. It's something to do with names. Prince has changed his name to a squiggle. I don't know. Madonna, it's something to do with names.
Madonna, something to do with names.
Madonna, something to do with
I'll
names.
give you...
The other one out is Rupert Murdoch.
Is it nationality?
Why?
Because I've got more chance of getting this right than I have of winning the national lottery.
The answer is, I'll give you one...
Change the name.
No, it's not that they've changed their names. It's not quite that. The answer is that none of them use their first names anymore, except for Madonna, who only uses her first name. General Schwarzkopf's first name is just the letter H, nothing more, although friends like to call him for short. Murdoch doesn't use his first name, as he thought Keith was a bit embarrassing. Luckily, he had the name Rupert to fall back on. The pop star Prince was actually named after his father's dog, so he got off pretty lightly, according to his sisters Fido and Spot. As Paul mentioned, Prince's new name is now, in fact, this. An idea he got from the Wandsworth one-way system. David, your 4 luminaries are these. Edward Heath, the Carpenters, Jesus, and Pinocchio.
Well, Edward Heath obviously had that picture taken at a Margaret Thatcher lookalike competition.
No, he's got Margaret Thatcher sitting to his immediate right.
Well, it's my previous incarnation down on the left, according to the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to have been a carpenter, which, like most of what the Christian Church tells us, is probably a load of old rubbish.
Oh,
and
no.
And
Happy Christmas.
Thank you. So it's something to do with carpenters. And the only one I can't think of that was involved in carpentry, although it was a bit wooden, was Edward Heath. So I would say Edward Heath is the odd man out, not for the first time.
Whose fathers were carpenters, isn't it? Because
So-
Pinocchio's father was Geppetto, a carpenter.
You're right.
The carpenters, I don't think their father was a carpenter, unless they named the band after him. They could have been a band called Civil Servants, couldn't they?
There's a theological problem here, isn't there? Because surely, strictly speaking, Joseph wasn't Jesus' father, was he?
Quite right.
Oh. So you're saying that God wasn't a carpenter then?
He did back in on calling occupants from interplanetary cars.
I suppose if he was God, he could have knocked up a chair easy enough, couldn't he?
Well, he did the universe in 6 days, so I don't suppose a chair was up for him.
Yeah, but some of those chairs are very difficult to put together, you know.
If you haven't got the right
Self-assembled.
plane...
Exactly.
We're talking to the man who's got woodwork O-level, aren't we?
Metalwork.
Metalwork. I apologise.
I got taken off woodwork and was made to do cross-country running.
It is that all of them were the children of carpenters, except for the carpenters who were the children of Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter, who in fact washed cars for a living. Many will remember the Carpenters' hit, calling occupants of interplanetary craft, with its less famous second line, "Why did you put that penis in that field?" Despite being the son of a carpenter, Edward Heath was recently awarded his own coat of arms. It features a green backing representing his name, Heath, stairs representing his birthplace, Broadstairs, and a shiny purple helmet. Not sure which of his interests that represents, so we're not sure. Jesus, the carpenter, of course, went into the family business, so we should be grateful his father wasn't a builder, or all religious paintings would feature our Lord with the top of his buttocks showing. Nick, your fourth, in descending order of articulacy, are Helmut Kohl, a tin of John West salmon, Pepsi Cola, and Chris Eubank.
Well, Helmut Kohl's the only one who's bothered to buy a giant poppy.
Very good of him, in the circumstances.
Is it to do with the song Simply the Best? Maybe.
It's an inspired guess.
Chris Eubank goes in boxing to Simply the Best when he walks down the aisle. Pepsi had Tina Turner singing Simply the Best in an advert. John West is Simply the Best salmon. But also I thought Helmut Kohl played Simply the Best as well. So there's no odd one out.
So in what way is this the right answer?
Well, I'm going to go for the tin of salmon because all the others are linked to the song, and the tin of salmon is Simply the Best.
Is the right answer.
There you go.
Yes, well deduced. It's that all of them use the same theme song, Tina Turner's Simply the Best, except John West Salmon, who used the slogan, "It's the fish John West rejects that makes John West the best," which of course was a hit for Marvin Gaye. At Pepsi, Tina Turner followed Michael Jackson, who presumably no longer fitted the company's image because he was turning from black to white, whereas Pepsi, of course, sends your teeth in the opposite direction. Allegedly, we've been asked to add.
Is it Coke that does that?
Oh, doubtless. Allegedly again, I think. Apparently Jackson left in tears after he asked what was in Pepsi and someone told him the main ingredient was bubbles. John West refused to let us use an official pack shot of their product, no doubt fearing that in some way we denigrate it. So we just want to point out how tasty and delicious these chunks of fish are in every can of Sainsbury's salmon, compared with that disgusting John West muck. Ian, spot the subtle connection here. Jerry Adams, Douglas Adams, Richard Adams, and Tony Adams.
I think this is book signing.
Have they all written books and Tony Adams has never even read a book?